Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome back to my channel, my loverlies. Hey, mamas. I hope you're having a good day. I hope life is treating you well today and every day. Please know that I love you so much, and I am so happy to be here with you right now, hanging out. We're going to talk about some new makeup today. I got my fingers on the Lottie London X Gossip Girl collection, most of it anyway, so that's what we're going to be playing with today. Before we go ahead and dive in, I want to give a special welcome to any newbies that are here. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I do so hope that you will like and subscribe before you leave. Become part of the Mama family. I love you already. You want to be here, I want you here, and Mama's got your back, at least where makeup's concerned anyway, and especially where drugstore makeup is concerned, because if it's at the drugstore, I am on it. Trust and believe, I am on it. So we're going to play with these bad boys today. I already dove into the eyeshadow palettes just a little bit, just because you guys know I like to jump on here and at least have some kind of idea about where we're going. So I used a little bit out of both of the eyeshadow palettes today. I have thoughts, not all bad, but not all great either. So there's thoughts there. I also have a little bit of lipstick on as well. I used one of the, so Lottie London has these Slay All Day matte liquid lipsticks. Guys, I've got to say these are some of the most comfortable matte liquid lipsticks I've ever worn. They are so nice. One swipe pigment, really enjoy this formula. The one I have on today is in the shade, what shade are you, baby girl? I can never find the shade names. I probably should have had that put together, or should have known that. Oh, Slay All Day. Slay All Day, hun? Is that the name? Yeah. Okay, so this is Hun. So this is the shade Hun. It's a very beautiful kind of mauve-y shade. Really beautiful. It matches my nails, so I'm here for it. And then the other shade I have is Work It. W-E-R-K. Work It. And this is just like more of a neutral kind of nude color, but they're so pigmented. They're so creamy. I love that. So that's the shade Work It. And then Hun. Does anybody else get offended when people call them Hun? And that's that mauve tone. Oh, it's so pretty. I don't know that I get offended, but I always just think that people are like being sarcastic, or like it's not genuine when people call you Hun. I'll sit here and call you baby all day because, you know, that's just the way I talk, but it never seems, especially like on text message or something, it just always seems like, especially when a woman calls me Hun, it's just like, huh? Like, I feel like she's being kind of like catty. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Do you feel that way too, or am I just crazy? It's possible. So these are the two liquid lipsticks. I really enjoy both of them. They're so beautiful. I love the formula. Probably some of my favorites that I've tried at the drugstore. So I have both of the eyeshadow palettes. I have both of the liquid blushes. There's this orange shade and then a pinky shade. They're both beautiful. They're both so pretty. I picked up the bronzer and the highlighter. I have the highlighter in the shade Silver. I believe they have a gold one and a silver one. They were sold out of the gold, so I picked up the silver. And then I have the Lottie London Coconut infused, bamboo extract infused bronzer. This is in the shade Sunburst. I will say I really enjoy the packaging. Guys, I'm getting over COVID, so if like my breathing is weird, or if you can hear me like talking or breathing, it's because I can't breathe. I can't breathe, but I am bound and determined to film these videos. So please just kind of ignore if I'm like breathing hard, because like I can't breathe. My lungs are just not working today. One of my favorite products in this collection are these really cute little eyeliner stamps. So you have a heart and a butterfly. They're just black, straight up felt tip liners, but on one side it's the felt tip liner, and then on the other side you have this really adorable little stamp. So I'm super excited to use these today. Not sure where I'm going to put it, but we're going to use it because it's part of the collection. I also picked up the coconut primer and the coconut dewy setting spray. We're going to try to use both of these. Depending on how long the video is, we might not get to my base, because y'all know I'd sit here and I'd take forever to do my eyes. But now that the intro has been 5 minutes long, let's go ahead and dive into it. So like I said, I used a little bit of both palettes on my eye today, just because I wanted to test them out a little bit and really kind of dip my fingers into everything. I really enjoy the eye look that we came out with today. Like I said, it's super soft and feminine, and like very everyday. It's very, very everyday oriented. Like it would be super, super easy to kind of pick up either one of these palettes and do just a boom look and be done and be out the door. So they have this one. This is the You Know You Love Me palette. The packaging is really cute. It's actually really nice packaging. It's kind of like a heavy plastic. I mean, straight up drugstore packaging. You've got the clear see-through lid. I like that the logo is holographic. I think that's a nice little touch. The pans. So they're 12 pan palettes. I will say I enjoy the mattes much more than I enjoy the shimmers. I used a little bit of this one. So this is the It Girl palette. Really, really beautiful. Again, whereas the other one is purple, this one is orange. I love orange. It's one of my favorite colors. Very, very neutral, kind of bronzy color story for this one. I used a little bit of this shade because I feel like it's the most interesting out of the whole palette. I used this on my inner corner, and I will say that I have glitter fallout everywhere. Like, there's glitter bukkake galore. So just be aware of the fact that there is fallout. I did notice that with the mattes, there's a little bit of kick up in the pan, but I didn't really deal with a lot of fallout on the face. So just be careful when you're dipping your brush in. And I'm going to shut up now, and we're just going to like dive right into it. So I'm going to go in with this palette first, and I don't know that they do have shade names. Okay, so I hate when they're not in the front. So I'm going to go in with the shade We're Sisters and Scandal. So this really beautiful mauve tone right here, we're going to go in with that, no, this one first. We're going to go in with this one first, and I'm just going to use this as a transition shade. And just put it all over my transition area. I'm using a no-name fluffy brush. It's just a super cheap one I picked up off an end cap at Walmart. I will say the mattes in here really, really, really impressed me. They're creamy. They're beautifully milled. They're really soft. They go on. They're pigmented. They blend super, super easily. Yeah, they just kind of smooth everything out. They do what they're supposed to do, which does nothing but make me happy. I'm going to go into the You Know You Love Me palette now, and I'm going to use this slightly deeper kind of rosy mauve tone. It looks much deeper in the pan than it does on a swatch. I'll swatch it for you. So that is it swatched, and that's it in the pan. Comparatively, I don't feel like they're like super like the same color, but we're going to put a little bit of this right on the lower transition area. But look how beautifully pigmented they are. Very, very soft, kind of romantic color story for this one. This is the You Know You Love Me. It's a very soft, romantic, kind of mauvey, purpley color story. I am here for it. I like that they gave you just a little bit of, they gave you a bronzy palette and a mauvey palette. I feel like those are two of the colors that people really kind of gravitate toward. And the ones that we use most often for everyday kind of eye looks. Beautiful, beautiful pigmentation. I'm going to go into a slightly smaller brush now. This is my e.l.f. crease brush. And I'm going to go back into the It Girl palette. And I'm going to use this beautiful, like, oh, this color right here. It's very, very neutral, leaning, cool. This would be like a perfect bronze, like not bronzer, but contour shade for me. I just love it. It's got that light kind of gray hint of an undertone to it. Really, really beautiful. We're going to put this right in the crease. It is going to be so, so beautiful. It's going to really help to define our eye and give us quite a bit of shape. And I'm just taking a big fluffy brush and just kind of buffing that all through my crease, really focusing it on my outer corner and my outer V. And just using big buffing motions to really kind of get that on. Just like that. This eye look is going to go super quick. It's super simple. Just like that. We've got a little bit of definition going on there now, a little bit of depth. I'm going to go back in to that first brush that we used and just go back over everything in big swirling motions. These blend effortlessly. I will say I am very, very much in love with this matte formula. I think it is so, so pretty. Really one of the best matte formulas I have encountered at the drugstore. I really, in the Lottie London has smaller 9-pan palettes that I really, really enjoy. But the only thing that let me down with these bigger palettes is just the shimmers. We're going to get into it in just a second. I'm still sick. I'm so sorry, guys. But I'm going to get into it in a minute. But the shimmers were just kind of a letdown. There just wasn't a lot of pigmentation there. There wasn't a lot of oomph there. We're going to go into a slightly deeper shade now and just kind of define the outer V a little bit more. We're going to go into this tone in the It Girl palette on a smaller fluffy brush. And we're just going to focus this right on the outer V. Just to create a little bit of depth. Just like that. They really are like effortless. And I think especially where drugstore makeup is concerned, because honestly, if you're thinking about who's buying drugstore makeup, it's the everyday woman. Just like me, just like you probably, if you're watching my channel, probably just like you. We don't have 20 minutes, an hour and a half to sit here and do our makeup every single day. So palettes like this are essential for those days where you got to get up and you got to go. So I love that about this. And I enjoy mattes more than I enjoy shimmers for the most part anyway. I really enjoy building with mattes and then accentuating with shimmers. So as long as the mattes work well, I'm okay. I'm happy. So we have that built up on our outer V. It's not a super deep shade, but it is deep enough just to give us a little bit of shape, a little bit of depth. I'm going to go back in one more time to that big fluffy brush, and we'll go back in to that first mauve tone that we used. And just kind of build that up a little bit more and use that to marry everything together. Right through the crease, make sure everything is nice and blended and smoky. This look did end up being very, very soft and romantic and kind of dreamy, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. It doesn't always have to be a super precise, like, graphic kind of eye look. Sometimes it can just be pretty, and that's enough. So that is pretty much it for the base of the eye. I'm going to take a smudger brush now. This is the e.l.f. Eyeshadow C brush. Looks like a little smudger. And we're going to go into the, You Know You Love Me palette. And I'm going to try, first of all, let me swatch this for you. The shimmers, okay, so that's what it looks like on the finger, okay? Very, very little pigmentation. It looks really pretty and reflective though. The shimmers in both of these palettes feel like they've hard panned. They're hard to pick up. Like, I'm going to dig at it with my brush and really kind of show you guys. Like, I am digging. And I never treat my eyeshadows like this. But they are hard panned. So to get anything off of there, you really have to dig your brush in. Okay, so I dug my brush in there, and I'm going to start to try to pack this over the center part of my eye. And then what happens is absolutely nothing. Like, there's nothing there. I can sit there and I can dig at it with my finger and try to get a swatch, but even when I swatch it, it's so sheer. It just doesn't show up. The reflect is really, really beautiful. And it's a stunning, stunning color. But it just doesn't translate to the eye. Just so you guys know, I'm like going to give it my all. I'm going to really sit here and dig at it with my brush and try to kick up some in the pan. And then I'm going to spray it with, let's just go ahead and use this Lottie London spray. And I'll spritz it and see if that helps at all. And I guess it helps a little bit, but still. You'd have to be really, really close to me. And the light would have to shine on that just right for you to be able to see that. So that was kind of upsetting. So instead of doing that, I'm going to go into, not this one. I'm going to go back into the It Girl palette. And I'm going to use this mauve shade again. And I'm going to pack that on the inner. The mattes are phenomenal. The mattes are so good. And I'm just going to pack that right onto the remaining open lid space. And then I'm going to go into this shade right here, just with the same brush. And I have the same problem with this shade as well. It's hard panned. It's almost impossible for me to get anything on my brush. Like, I'm digging at it, guys. And then I'll try to pack that on to my lid as well. Now you get the sparkle and you get a little bit of that glitter. But to get any kind of actual like color payoff is super, super difficult. I'm going to go back into that shade one more time. And then I'm going to spray it and see if that helps it at all. So that helped. Spraying it with the setting spray helped it quite a bit. That looks much better. But still, that's a lot of work and a lot of effort, especially for what, you know, when this is supposed to be a super easy, super, super simple, like quick on the go kind of eyeshadow palette. I just don't feel like it performs quite the way that I would like it to. I'm going to go back in with that e.l.f. brush, and I'm going to take a little bit of this light shade up here, and I'm going to put this right up underneath my eyebrow. For a little bit of a highlight shade. And then we'll do a matte inner corner highlight as well, just to kind of brighten up the eye. Kind of make it look a little bit more fresh, a little bit fresher. But guys, the shimmers in here are not great. I'm going to go ahead and swatch a couple of the, and I find that the shimmers in here are better than the shimmers in the purple one. We'll go ahead and swatch some of the shimmers in the purple one. So we already swatched this one, so let's try this one. That's a little bit better. Let's try this purple one. Same thing, super, super light, super sheer pigmentation. Let's try this one right here. They're just so hard panned. I don't know if it's because they're packed too hard, but like it is so difficult. This dark bronzy one is actually really, really pretty. The best shimmer in that palette for sure. That's a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous shade. This dark one right here is nice as well. Really pretty, but these two shimmers are really the only ones in the palette besides that purple one, but even it's still really, really sheer. I don't know. Shimmers are just pretty disappointing. And then in the It Girl palette, we've already tried this one. It's kind of trash. Let's try this one. This really pretty gold. That's pretty, but still very, very sheer. Very, very light. Let's try this one down here. Ooh, this one feels like it's going to be better. Ooh, that works a lot better. That's a really beautiful kind of like antique gold color. Stunning. Let's try this deep dark one. This one feels like it's going to be good too. And it is. So it just seems like the lighter shimmers they just don't work. They just don't do what they're supposed to do. I don't know if they're pressed too hard or if the moisture content is too high. I don't know what happened. The lighter shimmers are not great. The matte's fantastic. And then the darker shimmers are really nice as well. So all in all, great little palettes. If you're looking for something super soft and super simple and super like everyday, these are nice. Not my first pick at the drugstore, but they're nice. Moving on to, let's go ahead and finish our eye. I'm going to take this Wet n Wild Kohl eyeliner. This is just in the shade brown. And I'm going to put a little bit on my lower lash line. Let's do a little bit on the upper lash line as well. Do maybe a little bit of a smoky liner kind of situation. I'm going to go in with this e.l.f. small angled brush. Just kind of soften that up a little bit. Move that around and smoke it out just a touch. And then do the same thing on the lower lash line. Soften it up a touch. And then we'll go back into the You Know You Love Me palette on, let's just go back into that e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. We'll go into that transition shade that we used, that really pretty rosy tone. And we'll just put that underneath the eye. Just a touch, just to bring home that kind of mauve-y tone, like that. All in all, not bad, not great, but not bad. Let's curl our eyelashes. And put on some mascara, and then we'll jump into that eyeliner. This is the Maybelline Total Temptation mascara in the shade black. My absolute favorite mascara of the moment. It just, it fans out the lashes so pretty. It builds really great volume and length. And I find that it wears really well on me. It lasts for forever. If you can see this eye, my eyes are super watery, especially in the spring. When allergies are like out and about and pollen is in the air, my eyes want to do nothing but run. And this mascara doesn't smear, it doesn't smudge, it doesn't flake. And then, I mean, I got the waterproof one, but even then, like when I'm trying to remove it, it removes beautifully, effortlessly, beautifully. It just kind of comes off. I use a makeup removing balm, and it just comes off. It just melts off without any kind of drama, which is nice. I don't need drama in my life. I don't need it, and I especially don't want it with my makeup. So I'm gonna wipe these swatches off and clean up underneath my eyes. I have a little bit of glitter fallout from having to pack those shades on. Just like that. And then we'll try this new primer. So this is the Lottie London Illuminating Coconut Primer. I have used this. I've had this in my collection for a while now, and I really, really enjoy this primer. It's got a little bit of a pearlescence to it. It's got a little bit of like a gold reflect to it, but it's not like glitter on the skin. It just goes on and gives your skin this really beautiful kind of healthy glow. It feels nicely moisturizing, which is always a plus on my super, super dry, dusty old mummy skin. It makes you look dewy and fresh and like ready to take on the day. So, so pretty. I love the way that it makes my skin look. It just gives you that slightly pearlescent, kind of glowy finish that is always so, so pretty. And then for foundation, I'm just going to use a Maybeline foundation. I've really been loving this recently. This is the Instant Age Rewind Eraser Treatment Makeup. I don't know. It's this one right here. I like the applicator. It just makes it super, super easy. Just slap your makeup on and be done. I have mine in the shade Classic Ivory. And I'm just going to kind of tap it on. It's not a full coverage foundation. This is super, super light. I would say it's slightly buildable, but it is a very, very light buildable to medium. I wouldn't say that it gets much fuller than medium coverage, but it looks so pretty on the skin. It's got a slightly powdery finish to it, which I have been enjoying here recently. But one of the big reasons I like it is just because it makes it so easy to apply. I like to do my eyebrows first, so this applicator makes it really easy to get around my eyebrows without wiping them off, which happens more often than you would think. Oh, and I'm just going to bring it down my neck a little bit. And then I just go in with a foundation brush. My favorite brush of choice is the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. And I just kind of pat it in. Not picking my nose, but I am fixing my nose ring or else it'll fall out. And I just kind of pat it in with my brush. It goes on super, super pretty. Like no fuss, no muss. It's just a super, super easy foundation to wear. And I just kind of buff it down my neck. This color is pretty spot on for me. I don't find that it emphasizes any of my texture, like any of my wrinkles or fine lines. Just kind of goes on pretty. It wears really, really beautifully. This is one of those foundations that I find just gets better with time. The more it kind of mixes with your natural oils, it just gets better. Beautiful, super quick, super easy, and no mess. No mess. I don't have to use a palette. I don't have makeup all over my hands. Tell me you're a makeup artist without telling me you're a makeup artist. That should be a thing. It should be a thing on TikTok. Just everybody take pictures of their hands and their arms covered in swatches. Could you imagine? Okay, so let's go ahead and do a little bit of concealer. I'm going to use my NYX Bear With Me concealer serum. I have mine in the shade Vanilla. I'm just going to pat this underneath my eyes. And then I'm going to take a e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. just to tap that into place. I like to bring it down the sides of my nose as well, because I tend to stay super, super red around my nose. Just like that. Has anybody seen those videos? I was scrolling through the reels, as one does, and I saw this video where this guy was talking about what women like bring to the relationship. And of course it caught my attention. So I sat there and I watched it, and it blew my mind. He was like, well, you don't do anything that I can't pay for. Really? Explain. And he was like, well, I can pay for a maid. I can pay for somebody to cook my food. I can pay somebody to do my laundry. And you know what, baby? You know what? You certainly can. You pay somebody to cook your food and do your laundry. But you know what you can't pay for? You can't pay for somebody to be there waiting for you with open arms every time you get home. You can't pay for somebody to genuinely be on your team and root for you, whether you're right, wrong, or indifferent. You can't pay. Oh, it just irritated me so much. Like, looking at a relationship like it's a business transaction. And this coming from, I'm a stay-at-home mom now, but I was not always. I am a chef by trade, right? So I've always had a job. And not only that, but like I'm a head chef. So when I work, I'm in a power position. I'm in charge of the kitchen. I'm in charge of feeding hundreds and thousands of people every single day. I have a high pressure job because working in a kitchen is not easy. If you've ever worked in a kitchen, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. So, and I know what it's like to bring home the bacon. My husband stayed home with our son for a very, very long time. And I was the breadwinner. He stayed home with our son for the first, I want to say, my husband and I have been together for 11 years, and I've only been home for 2. So for the first 9 years, I was the main breadwinner for our family, and I brought home the paycheck every day, every week. Did I ever once make him feel like he was less than? Did I ever once make him feel bad about the fact that I was the one that went out to work and brought home the paycheck? No. Why? Because I valued what he did at home. My husband, he did the dishes. I still cooked because he doesn't know how to do that. But he did the dishes. He took care of our son. The things that are done at home are just as valuable as the things that are done outside of it. And this is what a lot of men don't realize. It's this age-old, like, I'm going to use the NYX Wonder Stick. This is the shade Light Medium. I picked this up the other day, the same day I picked up the Lottie London collection. And I have really, really been enjoying this recently. I really like the highlighting side and the contour side. I think they're both really nice. Super, super creamy. They blend out like nothing. I just love them so, so much. But going back to what I was talking about, you think, and especially with our society right now, everything is tied so strongly to money and about how much money you make and about how many possessions you have. And if you don't have money and if you don't have possessions, then you're pretty much worthless. And that's not okay to me, because these possessions and this money, they're not going to hold you on those cold nights when you're sad or when you're lonely or when you're anxious and you just need somebody to sit there and pet your head and tell you you're okay. A maid's not going to do that, baby. A chef ain't going to do that. A chef doesn't care whether you whether... I'm passionate about this subject. I'm passionate about this subject. But baby, a maid's not going to care. A maid's not going to sit up with you in the middle of the night when your tummy doesn't feel good and you want to die. A maid's not going to sit there and rub your leg in the middle of the night when you wake up screaming because you've got a Charlie horse. No, baby. She's going to be at home taking care of her family because you ain't nothing but a paycheck to her. You know what I mean? And yes, that paycheck is awfully nice. And those material things are wonderful. But baby, you can't take them with you. And they're damn sure not going to miss you when you're gone. This is what people fail to realize. I am the one, me, us women. We are the ones that give you something to go to work for. Baby, we give you your purpose. Because if not for women, the whole world would be nothing but fighting and eating. Because that's all men really know how to do without a woman. You know what I mean? There would be no love. There would be no softness. There would be no nurturing. There would be no kindness. Because men are not inherently kind. There would be nothing. We are what give you a reason to get up in the morning, baby. So why look at us like we're anything other than the gift that we are? Like, this is something I don't understand. And I can't speak for all women. But I am not with my husband because I need my husband. I'm with my husband because I enjoy my husband. I am with my husband because he makes me happy. But if something were to happen tomorrow and we were to bust, trust and believe, baby, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. Just like 99% of the other women out there. We're going to be fine. Your mistake is thinking that we stick around because we don't have a choice. Baby, we stick around because we love you. But you keep treating us like a maid or a cook, and that can change real quick. What all these young men, they get up and they go to work and they make all this money, right? But what do they do it for? Because I know for a fact, men are just as happy sitting at home with nothing but a TV and a recliner. And that's the life. They are completely happy. They would have no reason to aspire to more, because we are your more. We are your reason. Even those young bachelors, they go out and they make all this money. What do they make the money for? It's to impress the women. And the reason they have such low opinion of women is because they're going out chasing after the wrong ones. Because not all of us are all about the money. Not all of us are all about what can you do for me? What can you give me? And if you are one of those women that is, what can you do for me? What can you give to me? Girl, that's your prerogative. You do you. I'm just saying, if you have a problem with that, and if you have a problem with women like that, then maybe you should go after a different breed. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing with women. He's such a bum. He doesn't work. He doesn't do this. Well, then, baby, go after a man that has a work ethic. Go after a man that isn't a bum. Stop putting yourselves in these positions where you surround yourself with men or women whose priorities are very different than yours. Surround yourself with people who want to grow and who have the same goals as you do. But just because you make the wrong choices doesn't mean you get to condemn an entire gender for, just a couple of people's mistakes. You don't get to do that. It was a big thing. I think it was like on it was on some kind of like TV show, but I saw like a reel for it on, I think I was on Instagram. And I saw a reel for it on Instagram, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute, baby. It just blew my mind. And the fact that he could sit there and say, well, I can pay somebody to do what you do for me. Okay, honey. All right. You go do that. You go do that. I couldn't imagine my husband coming home from work, because he does work now. And I couldn't imagine my husband coming home and talking to me like that. I couldn't. And this is one of the reasons. I'm just getting a setting powder. This is one of the reasons that you have to respect your partner. You have to respect your partner. And not only that, but like, you know, animal attraction and physical attraction are wonderful. They're fun, right? But like, what happens when you find out that beyond the attraction, there's nothing there for you? You don't like that person. What happens? This is why. This is what I talk about, especially when I talk like to my family members and stuff who have problems. I grabbed a new one, so I'm just going to go in with this CoverGirl Simply Ageless pressed powder, and I'm going to use this to set under my eyes. But I talked to not my sister. You know, I talked to my sister about this. You know, because she gripes about men and about trying to find a good man and stuff like that. But then I talk to her and I tell her about her, I ask her about her priorities. What are your priorities? And again, one of my sister's biggest priorities is attraction. And unfortunately, my sister has a type, okay? And it's not a good type. It is not one of those types that are like reliable and dependable. My sister is one of those that she likes a bad boy. She likes somebody that's kind of going to boss her around. I don't know. I guess it's because she likes I want to say she likes the adventure of it all, or the thrill of it all. But I was never into that. I mean, of course I had my phase. But I always looked for a man who was going to treat me like an equal. I don't need somebody to take care of me. I don't need somebody to be, you know, I call my husband daddy, but I've been doing that for forever. I don't need a daddy though. I need a partner. I need a partner. And if you can't treat me like a partner, and if you can't respect me like a partner, then we have no business being together. Point blank period. We have no business being together. If I can't look at you and trust and know that when you see me, you see an equal, where are we going to be in like 10 years down the road? Because situations change. Bodies change. That physical attraction is only going to take you so far. I have to like you on the inside too. And if I don't like you on the inside, it's just not going to happen. And honey child, when I tell you right now that I am too damn old to sit there and be like dating, and I knew when I met my husband, I was like, I don't want to do this again. I hated being single. I hated being single. I wasn't single for very long, but I hated it. It was not my favorite thing in the world to do. And I just powdered my face and didn't use this blush. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this blush on top of this powder and see what happens, because I'm sitting here running my mouth and not focusing on the makeup. It does look really nice though. I look very pale, but we're going to fix that with that bronzer in just a minute. So there's two different shades of this blush. There is the shade And I'm Yours and Say It. I think we're going to use the pink one today, but I'm going to swatch the orange one for you because the orange one is so pretty. So that's what it looks like. Look at that freaking color. They're beautifully pigmented, super, super gorgeous. They blend out really easily. Oh, I am so in love with this formula. So, so gorgeous. So that's the orange one. I am a sucker for like an apricot or peachy or orangey blush. It just does it for me. And then this is the pink one. Really beautiful, cool toned kind of Barbie pink color. We're going to use this one today because I feel like it matches the eye look a little bit more. I'm just going to pat this on really quick. And then I'm going to go over it with my beauty blender. Oh my goodness, and it works over powder. That's so pretty. It's not picking up my foundation. It's not getting patchy. The color is really, really pretty. It's not too much. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more on the back of my hand. And then do this side of my face. Really, really pretty. I love the texture of this blush. It's not a liquid, but it's not a cream. It's somewhere right in the middle. It's got a good kind of like unctuousness to it. It's like, it's moussey almost. It is so, so pretty. And it, because of that, because of the texture, it just makes it so, so easy to work with. And guys, my face is fully powdered. And I just put this blush on. It blended out beautifully. It's not patchy. It's super, super smooth. The color is beautiful. It didn't pick up my makeup underneath it. Let's put a little bit on my chin, on the tip of my nose. That is beautiful. That is a beautiful, beautiful blush. I definitely wish that they would come out with more colors in this formula, because I would 100% pick them up in a heartbeat. That added the most beautiful amount of color to my face. I look flushed and youthful, but not like hot and sweaty. I love that. That is so freaking pretty. Okay, so let's try this bronzer out now. So this is the just the Lottie London bronzer. It says it's infused with coconut and bamboo extract. I really like the packaging. Again, it's got that kind of like holographic reflect to it. The packaging feels nice. It's heavy. It's got a nice weight to it. And then you've got the Lottie kind of imposed on the blush. Bronzer. Really, really pretty. I'm going to take an angled brush, if I can find one. Where did I put it? I swear my brushes have been running off lately. And I know it's because my baby likes to come in here and play with my stuff. I know that's what it is. I'm just going to take this. I think this is a Moda brush. It's just an angled, fluffy brush. And let's put a little bit of color on my very, very pale skin. Okay, so it's got nice pigmentation. Right off the bat, I like the color. It's not too warm. It doesn't look like it's pulling like red or orange on me. So it looks like it's going to be a nice neutral-ish bronzer, which is usually what I look for, just because I'm so fair. It's way, way, way too easy for things to pull red and orange on me. I'm just going to warm up the perimeters of my face. Let's see if this color is buildable. So no kick up in the pan. So it's pressed really, really nice. And I can tell it's pressed really nice because I've been kind of playing in there already. And the Lottie London is still fully intact, which lets me know that this would probably be all right to travel with. It's packed really nicely in there, pressed really nicely. I actually really enjoy this color. Let's swatch it for you real quick. So there's a swatch. I really like this tone. It's warm, but it's not too warm. It's not pulling like super orange or red. I will say it's pretty neutral, but it's pulling just a little bit more orange than bronzers I typically would use. One of my favorites is the L'Oreal Lumi Bronze It, or the Bronze Please. They have a little bit more of like a cooler undertone to them, which lends itself to being used as like a bronzer. A little bit easier. This is definitely a straight up bronzer. So if I wanted to like sculpt my face, I would have to go in with a contour shade on top of this, which is all right because I cream contoured. So I'm not too worried about it. But it blends really nicely. I'm going to take my sponge and just kind of tap over my forehead and get rid of my bronzer helmet. Just like that. That's actually really pretty. It added just enough kind of warmth to my face to kind of brighten it up a little bit and add just a little bit of color, but it's not too much. I don't look like an Oompa Loompa. I don't look like really fake and, you know, fake tan. So that's pretty. I'm going to take a smaller brush. This is a Juno & Co. ES06. It's just kind of, it's my nose contour brush. I think it's the perfect nose contour brush. And I'm just going to take a little bit of this bronzer and bring it down each side of my nose. And bring it through. Just to help shape my nose a little bit more. And help contour my eyes a little bit. That's really pretty. Let's take a little bit under my lip. I like it. I like it a lot. That's really pretty. And especially when I get tan this summer, that's going to be a really pretty shade for me. I like it. I like it a lot. So the last thing we have to do, and I will let you guys go because we're coming up on an hour now. This is the Lottie London. This is the Diamond Bounce Illuminating Highlighter. I am excited for this. Unfortunately, it broke in the bag on the way home, so I had to repress it. But this has, oh, it feels so good. It looks so good too. It's very glittery. If you guys don't like glitter, you're not going to like this highlighter. It is definitely a glitter forward highlighter, but it's very icy and just very pretty. What I like about it is it's sheer, so it's not going to leave any kind of cast on the skin. Oh, okay. I'm excited. I'm excited. Let's go in with my Moda. This is my Moda Highlight and Glow Brush. And we'll take just a touch and put it just on the highest points of the face. What do I think? I think it is very glittery. Definitely glitter forward. Super icy. And pretty intense, honestly. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It's pretty intense. I usually go for something that looks a little bit more natural. One of my favorite highlighters is the Ace Beauté Glow Essentials palette. The shade in here, Glowing. So this one right here is one of my absolute favorite highlighters. It just looks so beautiful. And then Wet n Wild also makes one that I love. I think it's called Blossom Glow. That's really pretty. I usually enjoy like a pink or golden highlight. This one is super icy. And it's really glittery. But you know what? I think on the right occasion, this is really pretty. It's not really enhancing the texture of my skin too much. It does look really, really glowy. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I do think that I probably would have preferred the golden one a little bit more, just because I feel like this one is just a little bit too icy for me. So if you can get your hands on the golden one, please let me know in the comments below how it performs, and if it's, you know, if it's anything like this. This is really pretty. Just not something I would wear all the time. Let's put a little bit right down the bridge of our nose, right here on the tip. It is a very blinding highlight. You know what? The more I use it, the more I like it. It is intense though. Oh. I'm not mad at it. I am not mad at it. All in all, I really, really have enjoyed this collection. I actually really like the way that my makeup turned out today. Probably my favorite from the collection is definitely the blushes. The blushes are phenomenal. Oh, wait, let's try the setting spray real quick. Let's set the face. Oh, this is so nice. So this is the Lottie London Dewy Setting Spray. This is fantastic. The sprayer on this is fantastic. The actual packaging is so nice. It feels nice and heavy and well put together. And then I really like the actual pump mechanism. So it's got, you kind of press down. It feels just a little bit like better quality. Feels like higher class, I guess. But it gives you a really even kind of mist. But it's heavy enough that you feel it hitting your face, but not too heavy that it feels like you're like getting squirted with a water gun. I really, really like this. I really like this, actually. Ooh, yeah, I really, really like this. This packaging is A+. The mist is really nice. I feel like it kind of like melted all of my powder in. Yeah, I'm happy. All in all, I am a very happy camper today. So, favorite thing in the collection, definitely the blushes. Least favorite, I would have to say, are the eyeshadow palettes, just because there's not a lot of depth here. There's not a lot of, they're good, but they're not great. They're not my favorite, but they are really, really nice. Oh, we did not try the eyeliner stamps. Which one should I do? Should I do butterflies or hearts today? Let's do a butterfly. Let's do a butterfly. We'll see. So this is what the actual component looks like. Really cute. Again, it's got that holographic logo on it, which I love for some reason. So on one side, you have a really beautiful kind of felt tip liner. And then on the other side, you have this super cute little butterfly stamp. How adorable is that? Okay, so let's stamp a butterfly on our face. Where am I going to put this? Let's put it. Okay. I have to figure out how to use these things first. Well, there's that. Okay, but there's what it looks like now that I've ruined my makeup. Guys, I love you so, so much. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Please know that you are loved, you are special, and you are always welcome back anytime you want to be here. As always, no filters, no edits, no fancy lighting. Y'all, it's just me sitting in front of my camera, playing with my makeup, hoping you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. I will, of course, be posting finished pictures over on my Facebook page, Makeup for the Everyday Mama. So if you guys want to go check that out, you know, I always feel like you get a better idea for what's going on all over my face in a picture. I don't ever use any kind of Facetune, no smoothing tools or anything like that. So what you see is what you get. I do mess around with the lighting, but that's just because my lighting is not ideal. But and I do try to show off the makeup to the best of my ability. But I never mess with any of those like face tools or editing or anything like that. I kind of bump up the lighting or whatever, and then we're just good to go. The link for that will be in the description box below, along with a list of all of the products that we used in today's video. And yeah, let me know what you thought of this collection. Hopefully my voice and my breathing and all of that good stuff gets better soon. I'm really, really tired of being sick. Oh, before we leave, I also picked up a couple of the, these are the Lottie London Oil Slick lip oils. I have one in the shade Peachy Cheeks, and then I have one in the shade Vanilla Whip. Let's put the Vanilla Whip on. Oh, those feel nice. Super, super thin. It's an oil. Super, super comfy. Ooh, it smells good. It smells like vanilla cake. Yes, I love that. Guys, I'm going to leave the video right here. I'm going to try to fix this kind of on my face. But until next time, stay safe. Take care of yourselves. And remember, you're important. Bye.